Hey guys, I'm Jessica Liley. Welcome back to Aussie Wristwatch, and today we're continuing our journey on the list of dive watches. Today is the 3,000 up to 5,000 mark. And before we get started, wrist check. I'm still wearing my Omega in homage to this topic. In fact, I'm still wearing the same top as the last two videos because I like it so much. And yeah, I just do me a favor, please subscribe and hit the like button in whichever order pleases you, but please do both. That really helps me out a lot with the YouTube algorithm gods, so thank you. All right, let's get cracking and roll the credits. Okay, so as you know, this series has had me talking about a non-exhaustive but very extensive list of dive watches, and I've had to break them down into different price points for obvious reasons. I'd be sitting here forever doing one very long video otherwise, and I know we all have short attention spans, myself included. So today, let's get straight into it, shall we? I actually really enjoyed the last little foray that we did, but so that was the 1,000 to up to 3,000. I think I snuck in a 3,000 with that. Let's start today with the Sinn U50, which a lot of people have actually recommended to me throughout comments on various videos I've done. The German submarine steel watch. So I haven't really done a foray into German watches at all yet. Sinn comes up a lot, as does Geschoot. Oh God, I hope I said that right. All those years of learning German have just gone out the window. Much better than my French though, I must admit. So this one has a contrasting dial complemented by red accents. It's super easy to pick out the time on this watch. And it measures at 41 millimeters and 11.1 millimeters in thickness, and it's got a whopping 500 meter water resistance. So with that in mind, the price tag of roughly $3,000, just over 3,000 Australian, because it's 2,500 US, it's actually quite a bit of bang for your buck. What I'd really love, and what I'll have to do a video on at some point, is German made watches, because I'm by no means saying that a German made watch is inferior to a Swiss made watch. I just know there's a lot of, let's call it snobbery, which may or may not be warranted. I'm too much of a novice to, get entirely into that debate at this point in time, but I know German ingenuity, and I can imagine those watches are pretty top notch. So I think I'll have to do a little bit of a deep dive into German made watches at some point, and there's a few more that pop up as we go through these lists. The next one I've got, and I've been hearing this brand quite a lot recently. In fact, I think Adrian from Bark and Jack is falling in love with them. I don't know nearly enough about them to proffer an opinion either way at this point, other than I know of Oris, and I've heard of Oris on many occasions. But this is the Oris Aquis New York Harbor limited edition, and it's pretty cool actually. So I'm gathering from my very limited research, Aquis is a very popular part of the collection with Oris. Oris to me is like, and I think this is gonna really demonstrate where the novice watch enthusiast in me is, because I see an Oris watch and go, that's really expensive for what it is. And I'm sure a genuine collector goes, that's pretty modestly priced for what it is. But because to me it's not a sexy brand, and by sexy I mean, the obvious ones, a Tag, a Panerai, a Rolex, maybe a Tudor to a lesser extent, I don't know. I mean, fuck, even a Chopard, I don't know. Like, there's a whole heap of brands out there that I view as being fancier than an Oris. And I think it's because I don't know enough about watches to appreciate Oris rather than the other way around. So let's talk about this one, shall we? It's a serious dive watch. Now this is a limited edition, but I wanted to include it because I thought it looked pretty cool, to be honest with you. And it kind of marries the best attributes of of the Aquis or Aquis brand. So it's 300 meter water resistant. It's got a green mother of pearl dial, and I think that's what got me, because I love pearls, as you may or may not be able to tell. It's the old woman in me coming out, I know. But it's also, I don't know, it's just, I just really liked it. This one in particular has an affiliation with the not-for-profit, which is the New York Harbor, and they're aiming to restore 1 billion oysters to the harbor with the Billion Oyster Project. So, I mean, I don't know, I'm not a greenie or anything like that, but I just kind of liked the ethos of that, so I thought I'd add it in. It's 41.5 millimeters, so for me it's on the smaller side, but because it's a steel watch, I think that works. And it's about 3,500 Australian, give or take. It's about 2,700 US. So depending on, you know, how you want to exchange that baby to the monopoly money that is the AUD. Okay, next one is the Laventure Submarine. It's 200 meter water resistant. I put it in there because, well, I never heard of this brand before, and I just saw it on someone's list and went, yeah, that looks pretty cool. So it's a micro brand founded in 2017 by Clement Gord, and it's a niche selling limited number watches manufactured in, I'm going to get this very wrong because you know my French is awful, but the La Chaux du Fonds in Switzerland. Now, their first timepiece, the Marine, is kind of, again, a bit of a homage or inspired by the Patek Philippe Nautilus. Now, some say it's probably due to the wings on the sides of the case, and the follow-up Submarine added a unidirectional rotating bezel, making it a true dive watch. It's got a vintage sandwich dial with a nice, it's got the fume pattern, you'll remember from my watch styles what that means, guys, so go back and check that out. I love, in particular, that dial on anything. I think it looks really cool. Green, blue, black, whatever you want, limited edition. I think they're probably sold out, but it got on the list anyway because it looked really fucking cool. That reason. Next one, Mont Blanc. Make my favorite pens, which I don't use a lot of anymore, but they also make really cool watches. They're 1858 Iced Sea, to be exact. 300 meter water resistant. It's a solid dive watch, and it's stainless steel in a 41 millimeter case with a 12.9 millimeter thickness. It's on the upper side of the cost because it's Mont Blanc and they're not cheap. But I have seen a few Mont Blancs around. I've got a friend who wears one. It's a lovely watch. They look really cool. So I thought I'd give them a mention. Tell me whether you think Mont Blanc should be on the list or whether they should just stick to making pens. I don't know. Probably said something really controversial. Okay, next watch, Tag Heuer Aqua Racer Professional 300. I mean, a dive watch list would not be complete without many different watches, but Tag, the Aqua Racer has to be on there. Whether you love or hate Tag, I kind of enjoy them for what they are. You know, it's got to be on the list. Now, it's fun because there's variations to it. It's recently gone through a bit of a facelift. And you know, it comes in two movements, the Professional 200 quartz or the Professional 300 automatic. Of course, we're all going to say the 300 because most of us are, I guess, automatic snobs, myself included. Not that there's anything wrong with a quartz watch. I just, now that I'm kind of getting into watches more, I'm just really fascinated by an automatic movement. That's all. It'd be really good if I could just live with a quartz watch because my life would be so much cheaper. It's 43 millimeters, and as I said, it's 300 meters water resistant. Australian retail price is around 4,200 bucks, so it's still quite a lot of money for the watch that you're getting. I will grant you that. Okay, next one I want to talk about, and it's not really a brand I hear a lot about, but I'm very intrigued by them, and that's Bell & Ross. This in particular is a 300 meter dive watch, BR03-92. It's unique, fun to wear. It's got the classic square Bell & Ross dial and shape. You know, and it is the first square dive watch the brand's ever produced. So there's a little bit of history to it. What I really want people to tell me is their overall thoughts on Bell and Ross, because I don't really see a lot of videos on them anywhere. I don't see a lot of pictures online about them. I just feel like they're not in the cool club. Have I got that right? And if that is true, can someone please tell me why? Because I think they're kind of a cool watch. Granted, I don't own one. It's not at the top of my list to buy, but I have seen them around and I kind of like them. So I'm just interested in people's thoughts on that. So please share. Okay, that brings me to the end of this part of the list. The next bracket we're going to is 5,000 to 20,000. Ooh, yeah. But in the meantime, you know the drill. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Help me out with those YouTube algorithm gods. Don't forget to check out my shop. All this helps me talk to you more. And of course, in the comments, let me know your thoughts. Have I fucked up the list again? Is the list really good? Did I miss something glaringly obvious? Have I put something in there that you think shouldn't be in there? You know, it's not a comprehensive list. Let's have some fun with this, guys. As always, thank you for your support. And until next time, have an awesome week.